Andrew at Gongs Unlimited with another brief and effective healing video. Today we're going to be kind of looking at, we'll call it the dichotomy between light and dark. And I'm just picking that dichotomy. There's so many different ones. You can, think freedom, imprisoned, joy, sadness. Our world is filled with dichotomies that we get thrown in. Pretty, ugly, all different ones that we're working on. Successful, failure. I could do a list for the next 20 minutes and that would be fun. But right now we're just going to kind of look at light and dark. So if you can right now, it's always useful in these videos if you can to ground. And it's very simple to ground. You just have to close your eyes in a seated position. You don't have to be in a lotus position or whatever, just sitting in a chair, sitting on the bus, wherever you're going. Try not to do it while you're driving right now, but close your eyes and imagine your first chakra, which is at the base of your spine, your first chakra, connected to the center of the planet with a beautiful, strong energy. It could be like a golden light. It could be like a water slide. It could be a strong tree trunk. Whatever, that just allows you to connect and release energy out of your body. Release stress and anxiety, other people's energy. And sort of even imagine your body becoming like transparent in glass. And just let the water gong behind us help you release things out of your body. Anything that's not transparent in glass will just go down that grounding cord to the bottom of the planet, to the earth, the center of the planet, the earth, who can process it and turn it over. Earth is great at doing that. She's not the best at handling all the plastic we're putting in the oceans, but we'll have to fix that. She's not the best right now at cleaning out the massive amounts of carbon that we're putting in the air, but we'll, in the next 50, 60 years, develop techniques to clean that out. But she can handle the energy you're going to release out of your aura and your body. So I'm a transparent glass body and I'm just releasing stress. You might feel it come out of you. You might see it. I can feel like little black goblins, like almost like a boba tea, tapioca is coming out of my body right now. It's a stress that I had from some situations I was in yesterday. So I'm just saying hello to them. I'm aware of them. And they're going down. And as I release them, what happens? That darkness, I can fill with a beautiful light. I can just imagine a beautiful golden light filling in those spaces, coming through my head and into there. So do that. Take a moment and just release one level of something out of your body that's heavy. And let the gong help you. This is a water gong made in Germany by a man named Roder Otkin. And the water, you just let that water just wash things out. The energy of that water wash things out. And breathe. Let's go. And when you let the breath go, just imagine it's going down the grounding cord. Great. This is something always good to do. It's always good to release that extra stress so you can kind of be more centered rather than in reaction. So today we're going to talk about briefly the dichotomy of light and brightness and darkness, some pain. Two different ends of a dichotomy. I'm sure you or someone you know has walked around and at some point in your life explained, I am a being of light. I am a marvelous being of light that is here to bring great healings or wisdom. Sometimes they mix that in with like, I'm an alien this thing, or I've done my yoga and I'm perfect and one with God in all parts. And if you are, I am really happy for you. Generally for all of us that are still down here incarnated working, we have that part of us that is very light. Josh has a lightness. Trevor, the camera guy, has a lightness to him. Brennan has a bright light in him. But we also have parts of us that are darker, maybe have a bit of pain, have a bit of judgment. But we like to ignore them. We like to push them down. I don't want to know about that. I'm just a being of light. I don't have this trauma. Or you're only focused on, I only have this trauma. I'm not a beautiful divine being. I just have this trauma. I have such bad karma. I'm just focused on this trauma. I know a lot of the people that work here are into like their metal bands that just really love to talk about the trauma and exalt the trauma and the pain. And that's one way to go too. You're at least acknowledging it. But let's say you're watching this video and you're like, I can have both. I can be light, but I can also deal with some pain. I've got that. But the goal is to release the pain. So what I want you to do is we're just going to go for it. But if you try to release it all at once, you can't. Let's be clear. You can't release it all at once. You can't. It's just not, you're holding on to it so well. You wouldn't even be aware of it. So let's just increase the awareness of one piece of pain that we have today and release it. We're going to start it here in this meditation, but maybe you'll still need to work on it. I was doing this the other night and I'm like, oh, I found a piece. I'm going to release it. And then it still took another 3-4 hours to really come out. So maybe it'll happen in the next video, during this video, maybe it won't. But so I want you just to kind of close your eyes. Imagine yourself behind your eyes, your consciousness behind your eyes in your head, and just kind of allow one piece of darkness or pain that you're holding, some spiritual thing, to kind of charge up. And I'll walk you through what I'm going to do here, and you can find it for yourself. So I'm saying hello, like what's a part of, I'm sort of a lightish being, but I do have some darkness here. And I'm asking where is it? And I find a piece right here, right around my 5th chakra. I can just see it. It's kind of black. It's in the 5th chakra, connects a little bit to the 4th chakra. I can see it. Maybe you're just going to feel it like, oh, this place here, or my knees have this, I never feel like I can change my life, my knees, wherever it is, it's okay. You're just trying to find one little piece and just say hello to the energy you've had covering it. Hi, so you didn't have to be aware of it because it's pain. That's how we're unconscious. You've ever heard like, oh, my subconscious, my unconscious has this pain. Yes, you purposely as a soul cover it. So I have a gray bit of energy. It's coming out. I'll say hello to the gray, and I just allow it to go into like an image of a rose here, and I explode it. I get rid of the gray. As I get rid of the gray, I see more here. Oh, this pain here. And I see black and red. You take a moment and see what you have. Take a moment. Ask it what it is. So I'm going to ask what is mine? And it's like, oh, a lifetime where I lied. It was a lifetime where I lied. And I felt very bad about it. That's great. I don't need to get that deep into it. I could look for all the gory details. Oh, it was in 1693 and I lied to this person. I lied and I had pain about it because I hurt somebody. And it's here. And this kind of, it's had some from this lifetime and it continues to a past life, but I'm just holding it here. And it causes a little energy there. So you take a second and notice where you have and ask it what it is. The best way to learn about stuff is to ask it. Sometimes you'll go talk to the trauma. Yeah, a little bit. That's great. And when you talk to it, it starts changing. You may notice it because you're saying hello to it. And so when I say it, it's starting to ball up into a little something like, oh, as a being now, I can finally forgive this. I can forgive that I lied to get something. And as I allow it to go out of my aura, I can even hold it in my hand. I hold it in my hand. Oh, it hurts. I can feel the pain in my hand, my psychometry, my hand. And I say, okay, I can forgive you. You know, I can forgive that I lied to someone. And as I forgive, it starts to dissolve. And then what happens is, I can see some more energy in here. Well, I felt I had to lie to survive. I'll let it come out. So this dark pain is coming out. And if you don't fill it up with light, if you don't go to the other neutral light, it will fill up with more muck. Nature and your aura abhor a vacuum. That vacuum, I abhor it. I know. If that was one thing I'm going to abhor is that vacuum. I'm not going to whore the vacuum, but I'm going to abhor it. So now I'm just going to bring in a delightful bit of golden light energy right in there. Some blues coming in, some red, just opening up, and it's like the forgiveness is filling up, and it's opening up things I can create because I was afraid to say things because I had lied. And it was that simple. I took some darkness that I didn't want to notice, and I turned it into light. It's still changing. I can still feel it's not going to be gone instantaneously. I can still feel the stuff coming out. It has a lot of other energies on it, but that initial change is going to let the rest of it come out. And you don't need to sit here and watch me work on it for the next hour. But what you are going to get to see in a moment in this video, in just a moment, we're going to work on some pain of Joshua's. All right, see you on the flip side of this edit. Hey, how you doing? We're back with Joshua. Perhaps you remember Joshua's back from the beginning of the movie here, beginning of the video where he was playing the gong, and now this is Joshua's front. So, Joshua has volunteered to have me poke at his pain. Well, maybe not poke at his pain. We're just going to say hello to his pain. One little piece of pain, and Joshua might release some of it. But here's a very interesting thing. When you're going to do something like this, you want to be very respectful of your healing person. Very respectful. So, for example, you want to recognize that they have their aura, and you have your aura. Here's Joshua's aura, here's mine, and they're going to bump in when I'm doing this thing, but I want to be respectful. I'm not here to fix Joshua. I'm just here to help him become more aware of something and release something. We're going to be using a 30 millimeter crystal tuning fork. This one's tuned to the F note. And hopefully we're not going to F him up. We're just going to use this note. And please note, I know there's a lot of, there's voluminous amounts of stuff on the internet, in the New Age internet. F is the heart chakra. F is the force. I don't abide by that. The dude does not abide by that. The dude just basically says, it's an F note. It's really nice. It's a beautiful crystal tuning fork. What a great healing tool. So let's see. So anyway, the first thing I'm just going to say, hi, Joshua.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. And I'm going to say, I would like to do this. Are you ready for a little healing?
I'm ready.
See, so that we've got his I'm ready. I'm willing to go for this. So one of the things I'm going to do with this is I'm first going to kind of connect it to, as you may have seen in one of our other videos, some of the higher energies there, and just say, can I have a little help doing this? And they're kind of tuned into that crystal fork now. I can feel them in there. A little bit of Yeshua, little Jesus. Okay, and we're just going to kind of go around Joshua's aura. See if there's anything really juicy. See some juicy stuff right here. Feel it? You can feel it because you're kind of there. I'm like, where is it that? Yeah, and I keep coming back to that. I keep seeing something right here, but I'm just gonna see his other chakras. He's like, not ready to release that stuff. This is where he's ready to release. See, it's great. I'm staying in tune with the spirit here, with Joshua, and seeing where he wants. And he's going right here. This is where I'm comfortable. This is what I'm comfortable working on right now. And then it's going to work. If you go in there and go, I'm healing all this because I'm an amazing healer. Yeah, it ain't going to work. You're just being a jerk. You're being a jerk, not an amazing healer. All right. So Joshua, do you notice anything right here around the right side of your head, your ear, your shoulder? Separate from the noise of the...
I've, in a physical way, I've had a little headache all day. And it's not there right now.
Well, the funny part is, just so you know, sometimes when you're getting ready to release some energy, it starts coming out ahead of time.
Oh.
And so you can start to notice pain and everything.
Yeah.
So,
and right now I feel I don't know, it's like a jolty electricity, like in a little bit of like suck my finger in the outlet feel that's pulling out in this side, right side.
So that's the energy that's sitting on top of the pain. Okay? In this case, it's a spirit guide that likes to take Joshua off track. So there's something where Joshua has some pain in there that allows the spirit to sit on. I won't say a guide. He's not a guide. Let's be clear. He's not a guide. He's just an annoying spirit. A guide would not be taking off a track. A guide would be keeping you on track, hence the guide. But why a being would be sitting there is because there's some pain that Joshua, he's not in that space, and the spirit can then get in there. So I'm going to actually have Jesus sending down a helper, and that helper is kind of taking that being and holding it out of the way. And so now we can kind of look at, now if I look right here, kind of keep your eyes closed, Joshua, kind of feel from, I'm going to touch your head, so one second, kind of notice what you have around that side of your skull, inside your head. Just say hello to it. Because I want Joshua to do some of this work. I'm not here magically doing this. He's starting to say hello to it, and he's resisting it. He's fighting a little bit because there's pain there. But just take a second to say, just say hello to it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to do anything. There you go. There, now he's starting to say hello and he's starting to move in. What do you notice about that, Joshua?
As soon as I said hello, that little headache came back.
Right, because
so hello, you're there. All right.
Yeah, that's the pain. The headache is the pain. Headaches are pain, and they're actually kind of spiritual, emotional pain.
But there was a relaxing into the act of hello, not resistant, but just hello, you're there, and there was a relaxation of that space.
Thank you. That is the way to do it. That is how you bust up the game. When you've put all this unconscious energy on it, you can't say hello to it. You're just pushing it down. And sometimes we have to do that. Man, somebody hurts us. Somebody says something mean to us at school or work, hurts our butt. We got to keep working. So we put some unconscious energy on top of it so we don't feel it. But then you keep doing that. Yeah. Hey, mom used to insult me. Dad used to make fun of me, hurt me. I just kept putting more unconscious energy on that. My older sister used to tell me I was a doof. My younger brother used to, whatever it is, do. So, but saying it, taking a moment, and that's where the being was sitting on it. Now he can say hello to it. So just again, say hello to it. I'm going to do a little healing. And you're saying it like, are you noticing it in your arms at all too? Like from your shoulder down here?
Yeah, there's a flow from that point down my right shoulder into my fingertips.
Because it's not always just one place. There's a holistic sense to it.
And there's a weird twitch in my left elbow.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little bit deeper look at this now. And Jesus is getting ready to come down. He's like, I'll come down and help. Okay, come on down. Come on down. He's going to He's just going in. He's actually kind of cleaning out your fourth chakra. And here's where the pain is actually sitting. He started here, but the pain's actually sitting here because it's always going to, and there's some guilt. There's like 3 or 4 guilt buttons. And these guilt buttons in the fourth chakra allow beings or pain and things to control Joshua. So what Jesus is doing is he's de-energizing these buttons. He's de-energizing 2 of them. He's not going to get it all right now. I see there's one. He's like, this is something Joshua has to kind of talk to him about, pray a little bit about, that because it's a bigger one. The little ones were related. So he had 3 buttons. There were 2 that were minor ones, but they were connected to the bigger one. So this is the pain that was in there. So he goes, once you release that, he goes, the pain you're feeling in your arms will disappear because it's connected. Here's the thing, if you feel guilty, Trevor, if you feel guilty about something, you're not going to be able to create because you feel bad about yourself. It's going to slow you down creating that thing. So it's like, oh, I feel so bad. Like, let's imagine Bernie Madoff reincarnating next lifetime. And he's like, I feel so bad about being the guy who ripped all these people off. I can't create money anymore because I'm guilty about what I did to them. He's going to have to work if he's holding guilt. Now, he may have not felt any guilt, and then there's going to be guides that are controlling him on that till he makes up for it. But that's just an example. It's not, So Joshua has some guilt in there that's preventing new creations from coming down those arms. And it lit the pain sitting here because the guilt would come up and go, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. And then the beings would sit in there going, yes, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. So we got the being out. The things got, and now there's a lot of, what's coming out now, it's beautiful, is a lot of gray and a lot of white and a lot of weird, like dark blues that aren't even yours. It was like anyone who wanted to make sure Joshua felt bad about himself would just jump on those energies. So it doesn't even matter what the guilt is. I don't care what it is. I'm just talking about the mechanics. Joshua can figure that out himself later. And it doesn't have to, here's the funny thing, it doesn't have to be anything big. Sometimes you're, oh, guilty, I shortchanged that person. But, you'd be surprised how, like, what one person gets guilty about, the other person isn't. It doesn't, but it's right there. So that's coming out now. Jesus is kind of running through. Now, here's the thing. We took out the dark energy, and we're putting in now the light energy. So I see Jesus is coming in, and he's running a beautiful gold and blues and greens into all these spaces where you started to release the energy. And he's not done. This is not going to be done in this one little video, but he goes, you're like 60, 70% of the way through. So going back to we took a little bit of darkness out and put some light. Now, that doesn't mean all Joshua's dark. No, just one little sliver. We're just doing one little sliver, but that one little sliver changes things. And then the more you get the light in there, like, oh, I can do it again. I can release some more darkness. I get more lighter. So it's a great tool if you're a therapist, if you're a sound healer, if you're just someone who's really curious about how to work energy. That's what we're kind of showing you here. All right, Joshua, how do you feel after that?
Dizzy in not a bad way. And this is spot on. What you're doing,
right?
Because I've been very anxious for a couple of days, and I just felt a purge of relief from that.
Yeah, and so you healed the spirit, so the spirit could heal the mind and the body.
Yeah,
and that's all we're doing. I don't even know what he's working on. I'm just going, some spiritual energy that we can clean up. And that's all. It's pretty simple, and that's all. Again, we take a little bit of dark out, put a little bit more light in. And really, if you could do that anywhere in your life, anywhere in the world, hey, there's something to be said for just being like, hey, that person behind the counter looks a little grumpy, and you say, hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. I'm not saying to be like polite customers, just like, hey, I see what you're doing there. That, everyone sometimes needs a little bit of validation, a little bit of light in any way. Hey, I went the extra mile and got you an extra pickle on your sandwich. I don't know. I'm just being silly now, but you understand what I mean. So thank you for watching this. I hope this at some point helps someone. maybe you use it and mix it into your modalities. That's it.